Right, good evening everyone, welcome to FTRL and thank you for joining us for round number 5 of Season 9 in Division 1. This is the Russian Grand Prix. I'm joined this evening by Pagani once again. Good evening, buddy.
Afternoon. Gonna be interesting tonight. Want a good central.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody sort of jumped out of pits fairly quick tonight. I mean, what, 3 guys on the hardest, couple on the soft. So, a lot of people running on the hyper soft very early. So, I mean, tyre wear isn't a massive factor at Russia, but
So I'm not expecting a lot of people to just do a hard lap, like a soft lap, and call that it. I imagine everyone will do a hyper soft run.
I mean, there was a little bit of cloud cover as the session got underway, but obviously I wouldn't expect to see people on the soft tyre if it is going to rain. What is interesting is that our fan favourite Mr. Raver's Revenge is doing his first lap on the soft tyre. Got 10 laps in so far with Dutch Tricks currently fastest, only one of the 29s currently, on 29.9.
Well, while the guys are on their first runs, I suppose better do a quick championship update, being as we're a third of the way through the season now.
That's flying over the season.
It is. So, at the top of the standings we've got T1000 Zach on 62 points after 4 consecutive 4th place finishes. Now, consistency, we know, is a key to winning a championship in FTRL Division 1, as Dutch has shown over the last 2 seasons. But I get the feeling Zach's going to need to turn some of those 3s into 1s before long if he's going to have any realistic shot of taking a title.
Yeah, he's been unlucky this season, and I mean, if you can classify unlucky finishing 3rd, but he's had a few little incidents now and again, but he's managed to fight back and come back to 3rd, so it'd be interesting if he gets a clean race to see what he can actually do tonight.
Yep, well, in 2nd place we've spoke about Dutch's consistency, and he's had 3 2nd place finishes to his name and 1 DNF. Now, again, we've said about the consistency, and that DNF, I get the feeling that could be the only non-finish he can afford this season if he's going to retain his crown.
With Dutch, he does like to finish races, so the DNF has come to a big surprise for everybody this season, and it might have let people in this championship race that you don't normally see. So, it might come back to haunt him.
Well, as he currently sits, he's 11 points behind Zach, and 3 points further back from him we've got a resurgent Tico, he's our first multiple winner this season, won the last 2 rounds back to back.
I think Tico this season is looking back to his former glory of Season 7, where he was running away with that championship until it all fell to pieces towards the end. I mean, back-to-back winner, can he make it 3 in a row? He'll be hoping so. I mean, I'm still supporting Team McLaren, so, you know, we'll see.
Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that we've actually got 20 drivers on the grid for the first time in a long time.
Well, we do indeed, and we only have 1 reserving tonight, which is ISRT Danny. You may know him as JB or Button or one of his other many facsimiles. Yeah, hopefully he can get his penalties under control because he's known as Mr. Penalty. So, I mean, it's probably the worst track for penalties. So hopefully he doesn't get disqualified tonight. And there is one new name on the grid. It is FTRL Cap, who we know as Cat. I mean, it's not a big difference, but he has joined the legion that has become an FTRL. So it's nice to say.
Yep, the FTRL tags are multiplying, and it's from an admin perspective, it's nice to see.
Oh, Ox is retired. I'm not sure if that's a mistake. I mean, you would anticipate him wanting to go at the end of qualifying.
Yeah, all conditions on track look like they're improving.
Yeah, I've seen the three-wheel Force India at the start of pit lane. I don't know if he's hit the wall that claimed to Mr. Goy Cap last season in Div 2, but I mean, he was practically back on the entrance to pit lane. Yeah, it was a mistake. I've just seen a message in the chat. I'm not going to repeat that one just yet.
I was going to say, he seems less than happy.
Well, we've got a few boys in the chat. Donzo saying evening. Miguel Corsguard saying Alpha Mad Course. I mean, I haven't really seen much from Mad Course this season, so hopefully he can sprout a surprise tonight. Keep me with hashtag Team Ravers. City Course full house, so he's happy. A couple of boys watching the football, which is understandable for him. It's a big match tonight.
Yep. Aaron in the chat has said that his driver of the season so far is Bran, and speaking of Bran, he's just taken provisional pole.
He has indeed. I mean, what is surprising is that Plexus is in P2. I mean, judging by the season so far, that's not surprising. But he has, I think, today taken delivery of a brand new wheel, which is a Fanatec CSL something. And he hasn't got the grips with it just yet. I mean, whether he's been playing that down, but he said he's been struggling, but he's currently in P2. So. We have a Danny Blake in the chat, who was also ISRP Danny. Said that his driver of the season is himself. If you don't get disqualified tonight, then maybe. Aaron saying if you were called FTRL Danny, then it's a possibility. But we'll see. I mean, he's got that many names. That might be one of them, I'm not quite sure. Got Tim 12 at a set of time. I mean, he's missed a couple races this season because he's been on holiday. So we'll be hoping that tonight he can actually show his true pace. And I mean, what he's known as I don't know what I was going to say there. He's known as a qualifying specialist. I mean, I think between the two seasons of him being in Div 2 and his promotion last season, he had the most poles combined. So. I mean, we'll see what he can pull out the bag tonight.
Well, we've got the self-proclaimed Division 1 People's Champion, Ravers Revenge, in P18 at the moment.
Yeah, he might be the self-proclaimed People's Champion, but he's not going to be a Div 1 champion anytime soon, I don't think. Not unless he can pull like 3 seconds out of his back pocket. It's not what the crowd want to see and all that, but still getting grips with his wheel and no traction, so obviously the pace will come. We'll be looking better for the next game, I think. I think this season is going to be a trial in their edge, getting used to no traction. I mean, currently I'd expect a little bit more from Panda. Saturn P15 or 31.4. Whether he made a slight mistake on that run, I'm not too sure. But we currently have one car in the grid that doesn't have the Hypersoft fitted, and that's Danny, who's sat on the Ultrasoft.
Well, Ravers did improve his time. He's moved up to P14 with a 31.2.
I've got people in the chat saying Brandon is in P1, and then Brandon responding saying indeed he is. So, nice to see that Brandon is taking interest in the chat.
Got Brand's teammate coming towards the end of the lap. Only good enough for P3, that one.
House is on, reckon to see CJ improving. I mean, well, he's currently half a second off his teammate. And half a second away from a two-time champ. I mean, obviously CJ, being the reigning Div2 champion, is going to want a little bit more, I'm going to guess. I'd expect a little bit more out of its physics, personally. Currently sat in P10. He's had a great start to the season.
I was going to say, his last two qualifying performances in Baku and China, they've not been what we'd expect from him. I think that would be fair to say.
Well, I believe Baku, he qualified outside the top 10. But
so I think he qualified like 13th, but he did end up
in P2. Or did he win that one?
didn't he?
Yeah. Aaron saying Panda will set a good time, so don't worry about him. Oh, I mean, currently we need something to be shown, but City Porsche last season CJ got a 130.1, so we should improve on that by about 1/2. Yeah, CJ, I don't know if the pressure of Div1 and having to run that bit hard is getting to him, but he's definitely picking up a few more penalties this season compared to last season, trying to keep up with the boys in front, but we know what he's got, and we know he can pull out a little bit extra when he needs to, so expect him to be strong tonight. But if CJ's going to be strong, then you'd expect Tomo to be strong, because there's usually nothing between them anyhow. So Tomo currently has the edge on in that battle tonight by 0.3. So Chicken Guy's just completed a lap and put him 8th, and he's going slowly across the line, so I think that might be him done with qualifying. Yeah, Cress is in pit lane, Kawandi's in pit lane, Remco,
is in
Zach.
third sector.
So Remco's just got out of pit lane. I don't think he's going to get around in time to do a lap. Currently sat in P2.
Takes pole.
Yeah, Kawandi's in pit lane, not going to get another lap done. I would have anticipated seeing Zach. Oh, CJ's left the session. That is no good. Hopefully he can get back in before the session finished. Panda's improved to a 30.1, which put him 8th. Tim 12 hasn't set a lap when he's retired, and CJ's rejoined the session. I don't know if Tim 12's just invalidated all of his laps, so he invalidated 2 laps. Yeah, Plexus is going slowly, so he's not doing another lap. Got Brand just finishing second 1.
Yeah, got Tico and Dutch behind him on the road.
Physics is just coming in the sector 2, so I'll keep an eye on him.
Tico looks like he's cruising.
Physics on the last corner. Improvement it is. 29.9 puts him 5th currently. Do you reckon Tico gave Dutch a slipstream down that straight?
He did. Whether it was intentional or not, Dutch definitely got a slipstream.
Last corner, what does Brand do?
He takes pole.
But Dutch is at the last corner now. Doesn't improve.
Didn't improve.
Rivers and Cat left on lap. Rivers coming to pit lane, Cat's at the last corner. Cat improves, but only goes 12. So I believe that is our grid.
Well, Aaron is fully committed to the stream this evening.
He is,
comment.
But maybe take your phone to the loo or something and like hashtag save Charlotte. Yeah. I mean,
well, he's got a couple of minutes before lights out.
Couple of Phoenix in the chat again. Nice to see you, buddy.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that would be Brand's first FTRL Div1 pole position.
I believe it is. And I found out why Dutch didn't improve. He invalidated on his last lap. Danny reckons his time would have been good enough for top 10 on the Ultras, but he invalidated, so... I mean, I did mention those track limits to you, Danny. I mean... Blue skies? Couple of clouds, but... I mean, I'm not anticipating much strategy-wise tonight. It does appear to be a very simple one-stop.
So just wait for the guys to lock in their strategies. Wouldn't have thought this would take long.
No, I do believe it's going to be a one-stop. Unless you get damage, obviously. I mean, still, I think the soft tire is going to do 2 races combined.
Right, so for the first time, Brand's going to lead the pack away on their formation lap. He's got Plexits for company on row 1. Remco's up in P3. Decent qualifying performance from him. Zach in P4, starting on the second row. He'll be hoping to get up and provide his teammates some cover. Physics in P5.
They've been disqualified.
It's not been a good evening for Ox, has it? Dutch Tricks normally focuses more on the race pace than his qualifying pace, so keep an eye on him. He's got Tico, who will be keen to follow him through the pack. Tomo in P8 with Panda in P9. Chicken Guy rounds out the top 10, and he's got going to have CJ Payne starting behind him in 11th. Cat, normally a pretty quick starter. Going to look for another one of those lightning starts to get himself up the field. He's going to start on the Hypersoft tyre. So he'll be hoping to get the jump on CJ. Jesper making his full-time return to FTRL, starting P13. We've got Ox, Cress and Ravers all been disqualified from the formation lap. Obviously some sort of tangles occurred between them. Matt Cause in P17 has Danny alongside in P18. And we've got Co-Andy and Tim 12 to round off the grid.
Oh, Tim 12's been disqualified for going too slowly. Obviously not used to be at the back of the formation lap. But yeah, I've been above the back of the field and there's been a few... I was always a bit cleaner for the actual race, let's put it that way.
Right, as the front runners get in position.
Yeah, I'm going to take him on board with Cat for this start. I mean, he's starting on the Hypers, he's already known as a quick starter. And he has the inside line for turn 1, so... I'm expecting to see Cat in the top 10 by exit of turn 1.
Well, Andy slotted into position. Got the green flag. We've got the lights coming on. And we are underway in Russia. Remco's already got ahead of Plexits. But Plexits is going to have the inside line. Brand's defending the inside. He should hold the lead. Couple of guys taking the runoff.
Rivers has done his customary, just drop the back, let everybody go and crack on with his own race.
Yep. Well, at the front, Remco's held on to P2. Dutch is up into P5. Panda's made a couple of places from the start. He's up in P7.
I mean, it appears everybody's still got a front wing. I mean, it's strange, but it does appear that way.
Physics attacking Remco at the end of the second DRS straight. And he's got back ahead.
Well, Bran has pulled out a 1 second gap on lap 1. Could we be seeing Bran go for his first win tonight?
Well, he's had the perfect start. Right, keep an eye on Plexits now that he's got back past Remco and he's not battling anymore.
Zach's having a look at Remco, but Remco breaks nice and late. I believe Oxox has had to take the extra wide turn 1. I was going to say, like, there's a bit of a battle, but I mean, from everybody besides the front two, there's not a second covering any of the gaps, so everybody is battling somebody, apparently. Aaron's had some finger trouble in the chat. He's put "go on bra" and then put "definitely meant Bran." Virtual physics currently having a battle. Dutch holding the inside line in the straight, pushes physics to the outside. Oh, definitely tight behind these two. Looks like physics is going to get the inside.
Yeah, but it's allowed Tico to draw alongside Panda because he's getting caught up behind all this.
Bran has kept the gap to 1 second, but Plexits pulled a second on Remco. So Bran is The holding zone out front. And Panda wants to get back past Tico. Tico breaks very late for turn 1 now.
Zach's got by Remco.
Penalty I've seen in the night. I mean, it's obviously not going to be the last. Oh,
Dutch is going backwards.
Dutch. I was going to say, Dutch was very close to the wall on the left hand side. For a yellow in sector 1. Danny is retired. I'm not sure where that is. I believe it's the end of the first sector. Panda's now got past Dutch.
Yeah, we've got a real cluster of cars in the mid-pack.
Dutch have damage? Dutch has damage on the right hand side.
Right, yeah.
If you're Dutch, do you come in and put the softs on, change your front wing and go at the end, or... I don't know.
Well, you can see he's losing time with that wing. He's going backwards through the pack at the moment, so I would suggest he's got to do something. He's got to react.
Dutch is in pit lane. We get a 5-second stuff up penalty for speeding in pit lane. We saw a lot of this last season. A lot of people get 5-second stuff up penalties for coming to the pit lane. But also Cat and Tim Plove in the pits as well.
I'm hoping it's a visual glitch I'm getting with Dutch.
Yeah, I believe it is because his car is just spanning pit lane.
Yeah.
I would anticipate it being.
So, new wing and soft tyres for Dutch.
Well, Danny is not happy with somebody, so I'm not sure who. However, Ox is up the inside of CJ. Push on the artificial grass. So Plexit has caught 2/10 on Bran. He's got into DRS range, but hasn't got DRS, so he's just done that recently. Well, Zach is 2 seconds behind Plexits now. I mean, Remco was right up there and he did drop back slowly. I don't know if he doesn't have the pace tonight. We're not going to practice as long as normal, or he doesn't let his track, but it appears Remco might be struggling slightly to keep pace for the front three. But we currently have a train falling behind physics.
I was just about to say that.
So we've got Tico, Panda and Chicken Guy right in the mix now. It would appear that Danny is not very happy with Catamounts. I mean, we'll sort that after the race. Matt Carr's picking up. Oh, Plexits has gone! He's in the wall on the left hand side after the long left hander in the skateboard. I don't know if that new wheel should call him out, but that's not something I want to see being a McLaren driver. Just means I've got to work extra hard tomorrow, though. But oh no, it's physics is retired.
I think I just caught that from someone's on board. He hit the wall. I just saw his front wing fly off. So that's both McLarens out of this race in a couple of corners of each other.
Come on, boys! You're making me work extra hard this season. Come on.
Tomo's just been done by Jesper at the end of sector 2.
Well, all these retirements have pushed Rivers Revenge up to 13th place, and he's right on the back of Tomo. I mean, he might be struggling to get grips with A, the wheel, and B, no traction, but, I mean, he's right on the back of one of the stalwarts of Div 2 last season, finishing second nearly every race.
Yeah, I think tyre difference may be starting to play a part. I think Tomo qualified on that set.
Tomo's gone defensive. Reva's going for a switch back round the outside. If he does this, Aaron will be moist. It's a difficult one to pull off on the outside of the long left-hander.
But he's got the
doing
inside.
it though. Great respectful racing between the two. He's left Tomo space on the outside. But the move is complete. Aaron, are you moist?
Donzo in the chat, hashtag team beta tester.
Oh God. Can we not make that a thing, please? His head's big enough. Come on.
They're not going to get that crash helmet off of him after that move.
Aaron's just, we won't talk about what Aaron's just done. However, this means it's a Mercedes 1-2 currently, and Brad has a 4-second lead. Is this Brand's race to lose? I mean, it's early doors, but 4-second lead. Oxford's right in the back of Chicken Guy now.
Yep, CJ waiting in the wings to pick up the pieces of any incident that may occur, but all clean and Ox is up to P6.
Isn't he? Matt Claus, with everything that's been going on, has snuck into the top 10. He's in 9th place now and just running his own race. I know he's picked up one time penalty, but if he can keep them down, he might move up the end of the race. I mean, if he finishes like this, I believe that you'll be quite happy personally. I mean, being a Mercedes driver.
Yep, less work for me to do tomorrow, which is just as well, really. Ox has got by Panda. And he was clever enough about it because he got himself the DRS for the straight as well.
So look,
Chicken Guy's got past Panda as well.
Yeah, Panda's in pit lane. I believe these tyres are struggling now.
Yep.
So it's been pointed out that we don't notice Matt Cause enough. The thing is with Matt Cause, whenever we go on board with him, he tends to crash into a pit lane wall. I mean, he's done it twice now, so I don't want to jinx him, so I tend to leave him alone. CJ's got past June guy to pit him on. So Tomo pitted at the same time as Panda, so walking on to the Ultra Soft. And Dutch is behind Panda by 5 seconds. So Dutch is going to have some work to do on those harder tyres.
Well, Matt Cause is still closing in on the cars in front. Knox is now within DRS range of Tico.
And Bran has pulled up another second to his teammate Zach. Now more or less 5 seconds he's got to Zach now. Bran is running away with it currently. Remco into pit lane. If Remco's in the pit lane on Hypersoft, you know they're not going to last too much longer because these 10-minute tyres last better than anyone else. Ox is now past T4.
Tico
really
just trying to...
much T4, so.
Yeah, well he's on the end of those tyres. He's trying to push him for one lap more, I think, in the hope that he gets that extra lap of life in his next set over Remco. But the two Mercs are going along very nicely out in front. As I say, that gets a penalty. I'm going to shut up.
I was going to say Zach is on the edge. I've just seen him through sector 2 and he wasn't happy at all. He's running wide and wide and wider. I mean, if Bran comes in this lap, Zach might be in trouble. If he has to take those hypers another lap. With them being teammates, he might have to double stack and pit lane.
I mean, you never know. Bran might feel extremely comfortable on that set of tyres and go for another lap.
Bran's going for
Which
another lap.
he is doing.
I want to guess Zach will be in this lap.
If you're Zach, you would probably dive in, which he does.
Zach's in pit lane. I mean, I'm going to guess that these two won't be in a party together, but I mean, he still managed to make the team work, so that's all that counts.
Tico's gone wide at pit entry, which has got him a 5-second time penalty. So, Bran, the only one of the hyper soft starters not to pit yet.
See if Oxford closes him down this lap.
With all the pit stops occurring, Ravens is up to P7 and within DRS range of Jesper. So Zach pitting that lap has kept him in front of Remco. If he'd have gone one lap longer, you'd feel that the Toro Rosso would have been in front.
Panda's come out with his pit stop quite well. I mean, he's only 1.8 behind Remco and he's 4 seconds now in front of Chicken. I mean, they're all a trend together, so... Ox has gained half a second this lap and Bran is in pit lane. So how far can these Ultrasoft runners go on these tyres? I mean, Hypersoft, I think the longest stint we had was Bran with 10 laps. So really you want to take them 17 laps. It might be difficult. When you mentioned Tico running a bit wide on pit entry, he's come up just in front of Dutch. So as a Dutch is going to struggle to get top 5 this race. Well, early damage. Tico's overtaking Catamis. I don't think Cat fought it too much because I think he's going to have to stop again this race. So Rivers, last time I checked, was on the back of Tomo before Tomo pitted. And now Rivers has clawed himself on the back of Jesper. Rivers is having a very good race today.
Yep, Matt causes under attack from Cress. End of the DRS straight. Cress around the outside, gives him the inside for the next corner. But Matt Cause is going to fight this. Yep. Good driving from the pair of them.
Double switchback. Got a better exit.
I'll say this isn't finished yet.
Oh, Aaron's going to be moist again. But Crest will have DRS on this front straight.
Michaels goes defensive to the inside.
Oh, Matt Collins is sideways. I don't know if that was desync.
Well, whatever it was, he done very well to save it. and he'll live to fight another day.
Rivers is doing a great job on his ERS as well. He's still got 75% battery. He's managing this race quite well currently.
He seemed quite comfortable just sat there within half a tenth of Jesper.
I said, just using Jesper's DRS to pull himself along. He's just chilling, I think. It's the most comfortable I've seen him in the car this season since he's gone onto wheel. Not to jinx you or anything, Rivers, touch wood. But he's closer to Jesper this time around.
So
I think he wanted to make a move, but
yeah,
just
you remember the gap between the two Mercedes before the pit stops? It's about 5 seconds, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's half that now.
it's now 2.3. So I can't believe that a one lap undercut gained 5 seconds. So I think Brand needs to get past these 3 cars in front of him very quickly. Although Zach just picked up the second penalty of the race. Brand dispatches go on into turn 1. No messing about. He wants this win.
Now, I wouldn't expect Ravers to put up too much of a battle against Bran. Although he is now within striking distance of Jesper. This could be awkward.
Rivers trying to reach out of Jesper. Where does Bran go? The track is full with cars. Smart decision to pull out with that one. He should get Rivers onto the straight. No, Rivers is going for a move on Jesper again. Bran is going to have DRS, as is Rivers, but Bran will have DRS slipstream and overtake on ERS where Jesper has nothing. So can Bran get Rivers with fresher tyres?
Around the outside, fresh rubber.
But Zach is here.
So, as awkward as that was, I think Bran's negotiated that about as well as he could have done. I mean, Ravers is still fighting.
I was going to
Zach.
say, Bran will be pleading with Ravers. Just hold him back for a couple more corners, let me get away a little bit.
I mean, Ravers has come out of this really well as well, because he's got a couple of cars now between him and Jesper.
I would say Ravers is having a fantastic race. Obviously that beta test advantage is giving him some confidence in the car.
Right, well, Zach's passed. It's going to make Remco itchy to get by as well.
I'm not picking up a time penalty.
So just 1.4 seconds now between the net race leaders.
So Dutch has caught up on the back academies with his harder tyres. We've got the same time of being on them, but I said Tico came out of the pits in front of Dutch. Tico is now 6 seconds down the road from Dutch. It's been a race to forget for Dutch.
Remco's still behind Ravers, so I think all of that sort of ERS saving that he was able to do behind Jesper is paying dividends now.
Dutch is not past Cap.
I think Jesper's going to be attacked by Co-Andy here.
Remco's got past Ravers. I don't think Ravers put too much of a fight on the straight. He doesn't want to lose as little time as possible with his front runners getting past.
Yeah, well, it's the two cars that are now behind him that he's more concerned with.
Captain is back in pit lane for another front wing change. I don't know if something happened between him and Dutch. And Panda is now right on the back of Jesper. I mean, I'd expect Panda to get past on the straight, but I think Jesper might get the DRS from Kawandi. He does. To make Panda's life a little bit more difficult. Yeah, he's gonna have to wait for a bit later in the lap. Oh, but Jesper is very sideways on those tyres. 14 laps appears to be too many for his Ultra Socks.
Yeah, have a massive slide out of that left-hander there.
Did one slide led into another slide. I don't know if he's watching Kevin Block a bit, trying to do a bit Jim Carter, but I've never seen one done with an F1 car before. The brand, last time I checked, had a 1.5 second lead when Zach got past Raver. There's now 1.8, so I mean, I was wondering if he's going to crumble with some more pressure, but I mean, it doesn't look like it. He's holding on for his life, trying to get this race win, and he's pulling away from the guys behind.
Yeah, well, he's now closed in on the back of Matt Cause.
But Brand has just picked up his first penalty of the race.
I think that was his second.
Was it? Oh, okay. I'll believe you because I don't like doing maths. Ravers picks up a penalty. Heatman's in, got a pit soon, Ravers.
Ran up the inside of Matt Cause. Puts another car between himself and his teammate.
So there's a car and still 1.5 seconds between the both Mercedes, but Matt Cause looks like he's going to pit this lap.
Well, Ox has, Cress has.
TJ hasn't.
Raves is in.
But see,
Coandy's in.
Jesper's in because he got a penalty for speeding pit lane. I've seen CJ do this a couple of times. He gets to his pit window, he'll go one lap longer than most people, but he will push like hell on that lap. But he's still a medium ERS, so I'm not sure.